I'm here backstage with the inventor of everything that is extreme, everything that is metal, everything that is Satan, with the one and only Venom Inc. Mantas and Demolition Man. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good, we're good. He's just inventing some Satan at the minute, you know, so he's always inventing stuff, yeah.
So, how was the journey to the Neuborn Open Air Festival?
Oh, he can start.
It was interesting. It took me 16 hours to get from London
16 hours?
to get here, yeah, because there were storms and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, there were storms over Frankfurt, all the flights were delayed. Okay. But you know, you get here and the weather's perfect, the people are perfect, the organisation's perfect, so you know, what's 16 hours when you can have something like that? I mean, listen to that, that's Infected Rain.
Yeah.
I mean, and we just had Gamma Bomb on, which did a great set, had a Yeti on stage. I mean, come on, they've got a Yeti for fuck's sake. So yeah, it's all good, it's all good.
Great. How was the tour or the summer festivals and the concerts in general?
Interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean, every festival that we've done so far has been amazing. It's been incredible. The American tour was unbelievable, you know, the response, everything. And, you know, the one thing that we've noticed, you know, being of that older generation, is the amount of young people who have been at the Venom Inc. shows. It's like, holy shit. Yeah. You know, I mean, a lot of these fans or, you know, curiosities were never even born when I set foot in
like myself.
Studio. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, 1980.
But to be fair, compared to us, everybody's young.
Oh,
everybody's young compared to us.
Right now, yeah.
So last year you released There's Only Black. How did the fans receive the new album?
Yeah, I mean, brilliant. You know, it's so good. You know, I mean, you know, when we did the first album, it was kind of a new venture, see how it is. And but this time we kind of knew what our fan base was, and then we did something a bit different on it, production-wise. He did the production. Yeah. We kind of wrote 6 songs each and kind of mixed it up, and just thought, let's just do something that feels good to us, not be contrived, not try and hit anything, and just see what happens. And the response has been amazing. You know, I mean, you know, we got 3 of the new tracks in the set. And the thing is, when we play something like Inferno, when you're juxtaposition to something like Anomaly, Satanis and Welcome to Hell, you'd think with the years difference in between, 40 years between one and the other, but when we play it, it's like it was all done yesterday. And you know, maybe that's our energy, maybe that's how we attack it, but they all feel absolutely right. And that's always how we've done it. What does it feel like? Does it feel like it should be there? So we never... You know, we never give less than 100%, whatever that 100% is, and we mean everything we do. You know, every word that comes out has a meaning, and everything we play, we put everything into it. So I guess, you know, to play new songs in that, and Inferno in particular, you know, obviously There's Only Black too, but we you know, people were just going crazy for the stuff, and it was working so well in America. So for tonight's set, you know, we haven't changed too much because it really works. We boom in with the classics immediately, and we just keep driving it until we crash into the end. So it's brilliant, yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to the show. And also when you release the single How Many Can Die, I was like, oh my god, that's like the sound 80s must sound like, because How Many Can Die was like a speed bomb directly in your face. So it was a great song and a great album too.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that's it. I think, you know, with you know, with songs like 7 Gates of Hell or stuff, Inferno exactly. You know, Jeff writes these opuses, you know, that are kind of classical and they have these big themes. But then sometimes we just feel we want to go you know, and at our age we still have that aggression, we still have that, we want to scream, and this music is about that release, you know.
I know.
You know, not conforming, being individual, not you know, don't worry about your bills, don't worry about the shit that's happening out there, just let go, just be free, you know, because everybody talks about freedom. But this is when you're free. Today, when you're listening to the band, that's true freedom, you know? And we represent that. You know, Sons of Satan, which is our kind of anthem, is like, that's what you are. We're the Sons of Satan. Yeah. So there are no rules. Just let yourself just live, you know? And that's kind of the energy we take on stage with those songs.
Like Venom Inc. or Venom is the kind of outlaws?
Yeah. That's what Venom were, outlaws.
Yeah, that's what it was always about, right in the early days. I mean, we were never known as the greatest musicians on the planet, but I think what we had was call it youthful arrogance or, you know, whatever. But we just went in and did whatever we did when we went in the studio way back then. You know, we had no experience whatsoever. And Welcome to Hell, that album, that is actually my first attempt at writing songs. You know, there was no rewrites, there was no rearrangement, we had no Pro Tools, Cubase,
No
Logic,
6 months production.
nothing like that, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
we were given 3 days to get in the studio and just do it. And I think, you know, I've had the question a lot of times, is, you know, will you ever re-record Welcome to Hell? And the answer is absolutely not, because that album was a moment captured in time. It was 3 young guys, very inexperienced. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. I went in there with a Marshall JCM 800, an angled cab, a horrible blue fuzz pedal, a copy Flying V, turned everything up to 11, just like Spinal Tap, and we went for it.
Wow.
And we've still got that same kind of attitude, although we're more experienced. And I've often said, as a songwriter, it would be nice to get back to that sort of innocence, you know, because if I wrote, let's say, I can vividly remember going into a rehearsal one Sunday morning and going, I've got a new song, and I was so excited about this song, and it was Witching Hour. But now, if I wrote the riff to Witching Hour, I would probably press the delete button, you know. But you know, it's all that. Everything that we did in the past was really simple, and I think that's what we tried to do again.
It was real.
And it was real. It was simple. It was simplicity, but it had the attitude, and that's definitely what we tried, both on Arbe and particularly on There's Only Black. You know, the production on There's Only Black is so stripped back. You know, even the gain on guitars and stuff like that, because there was so much going on. I wanted all those different levels to come through. I wanted everything to have its own space, and hopefully I think I've achieved that. And what I've always tried to achieve with this band when it comes to producing studio stuff, whether it was Empire or Venom Inc., is to capture what we are up there on stage. And you know, hopefully that's been achieved.
Yeah, it's been achieved from my point of view. And also, like, you've toured and spent like so many times playing at concerts and whatnot. Can you tell like a difference between the crowds, like a German crowd or European crowd, American crowd?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, Germans are quite conservative, you know, as a nation in many ways. But you know, and Americans have a particular way about them where they can be quite conservative. Same as the British, they can be a bit, you know, inactive sometimes. But what we find is, we don't care, the audience, we don't care what your preconceptions are. We drive the bus as fast as we can, straight across, regardless of what you think. So, you know, you could have 100% of the fans going, fucking come on, and you could have 100% of the fans going, whatever. It makes no difference to us. When we put our foot on the gas, we're coming straight through, regardless. You know, it could be a farm field of corn, or it could be a brick wall. We're still going through to the other side. And if you're there, that's great. So I guess the thing is that we feed off the energy of the crowd. So, you know, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 10 people, makes no difference to us. You get whacking every time we go on stage, because that's who we are. You know, everything we play has meaning, and everything we do has 100% of who we are. And even if we're feeling 50% of ourselves, we give you that 100% of our 50%. So we never let up. And that's what's exciting for us. And, you know, so many times we played shows where, you know, you get curiosity, people are coming in, they're curious. But, you know, we just did some sold out shows in Los Angeles and San Francisco. And we did a meet and greet. And I had a girl came up, she was Indian, of Indian origin. She was a Muslim, and she had a black metal shirt on. I was going, wow, that's kind of... Yeah. And she said, my mum bought me this shirt. And I said, your mum bought you the shirt? Is your mum a Muslim? Yes, she's an Indian Muslim. Wow. I said, wow. like, so how come she bought your shirt? She went, she doesn't know she bought me the shirt, she just gave me the money. And I bought the shirt. She said, and then I bought a ticket to the show. She said, but your song, I kneel to know God from Harvey, changed my view on life, and it saved me. And I thought, wow, that's amazing.
That's a high praise as a musician.
An American immigrant from India who's a Muslim origin saying, I kneel to know God, saved her, you know, because it just spoke to her. And that's what we find with young people, you know. Yeah, we're old guys, but we play like young guys, and you know, and because we're real. We're not contrived, we're not, if you like it, you like it, if you don't, you don't, but what you get is what we give. And that's what Venom always did. You know, for me, you know, obviously I go way back to when they played their first shows too, and you know, there was a reality about it. So it wasn't following a trend, it wasn't trying to be like, you know, an LA glam band. It was purely, this is what we are, we're not afraid to be this. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. If we're good, we're good. If we're not, we're not. And we don't care. And that was like so punk.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I loved about punk. It was like, I can be whatever I want to be. And it doesn't matter what anybody says. And that's what Venom was. And that's what we tried to take on stage, that energy, you know. Be who you are. And it doesn't matter if anybody likes it or doesn't like it. As long as you're who you are, that's who you are.
Every time I saw you guys live, it's like, hey, you need to break at one point because you have like a fist in your face, because it was always that amazing, so much power on stage, and you really like put that to the people as well.
Yeah, and you know the thing is, you know, I was raised where we come from, we were Roman Catholics, and I used to go into church on a Sunday or whenever, and I never saw anybody smiling going in or smiling coming out. But we go in and then we pile people with bricks in the face, and they all go out smiling. It's like, that's what it's about. It's giving you what we can give you to take into the world. So it's like, you know, if tomorrow, it's like I say it on stage, but if tomorrow someone comes up and goes, and you say, don't do that, it's wrong, and someone goes, who the fuck are you? You tell them who you are, you're the sons of fucking Satan. It's like, we don't have any rules, and when it's wrong, it's wrong, and when it's right, it's right. We don't transgress, you don't have to be bad to people, you don't have to steal their shit, you don't have to rape or pillage, you just give everybody what they give. But if someone gives you attitude, you're allowed to give them attitude back. Just be strong, be yourself. And that's from the minute we start to the minute we finish. That's the message. Don't conform, be you, you know, and don't care about that, you know. And that's true freedom. That's true freedom, you know.
I agree, I totally agree. And what about future record plans? Like, for example, Eine keine Nachtmusik is like one of the best like live albums on planet Earth. Do you like consider to like do another live album, perhaps?
Oh, definitely. There's enough material sitting around now. It's actually just getting the time to collate everything and put it together. But yeah, I can see a live album happening. Yeah, we've got so much material sitting there.
Like also with the new stuff and also like old stuff, new stuff mixed?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I think ideally, because like, you know, with Eine Kleine or any live album, you get like the current shows and you get that nice mix of this is our set from wherever. But every show we've done, I've got recorded. I've got audio from every show we've done, including Empire stuff. What I'd love to do is take every single song we've ever played, Lady Lust, Dead of the Night, where we played with Danzig and we did all those runs, the Misfits, where we did, you know, or Bloodlust, and take shots from every single thing we've done and make a whole album of every track we've ever played. And that's the live. And if that's 4 discs or 6 discs or whatever, just make a complete compendium. You know, at our age, I think it's good to just go, this is our work. You know, you like it, you like it, you don't like it, you don't like it, that's cool. But this is why we did this. And you know, we did one with Empire, a live album with Empire, and what I did inside was photographs. Every photograph we took with fans was inside, so when you opened it, it was every single photograph we've ever had with any fan inside, and people were like going, oh my god. And it's like, well, every time I took a photograph I kept it, and it's like, because this is your album, it's not our album, it's just what we did with you, for you, so it's your album, you know. And I kind of like, you know, we've been criticized playing older songs, but it's like, you know, I take him on stage and I don't play Countess Battery, I don't play black metal. He's right there. He's right there. He wrote them. So it's like, well, you have to. Why not? Why not? And do you want to hear it? And we never we never preempted our audience. The first thing we ever did from the beginning was I went straight to the audience and went, if we played a live show, what would you like to hear? And they went, if you played Rip Ride, you know, Nurgle from Behemoth came straight, when we did Hellfest the first time, he was side stage and fucking live streaming because he was going, Rip Ride, it's my favorite song ever. Yeah. Peter from Vader said, oh my God, if you ever play Genocide, so we did Genocide because he asked for it. And it's like, you know, we were in Italy once playing a show, and one of the guys that was with us said, oh my God, are you playing Welcome to Hell tonight? And we went, no, it's not in the set. And he went, oh, it's my favorite. Could you play it? We went, okay. So we played Welcome to Hell. You know, and it's like, because it's, when you write the songs, when he was in his bedroom writing those songs, or when we've written any song, there are songs. You know, we love them, and that's why they're on the album. But 40 years later, we don't own those songs anymore. Those people own the songs. And if they go, if you could ever play this song, I'd be the happiest person in the world, like Manitou or something. And we were in America, in Philadelphia, someone had said, have you ever played Manitou? If you could ever play Manitou, I was like, yeah. And then when we got to Philadelphia, we went, let's do Manitou. And we did it. And people were like, oh my God, they're playing Manitou. But that's the whole idea. Why not play it? If you can, you should, you know? Yeah.
And from my point of view, if you could play Bloodlust tonight, it would make me really, really happy.
Okay.
And also the Tony Demolition Man albums, like Primeval. I love Primeval. I love Templars of Ice, The Wastelands. Really great albums that kind of fly under the radar, from my opinion.
Yeah. But you know, it's difficult because at that period of time, you know, because Calm Before the Storm was a little off the tracks and Jeff had gone, you know, trying to get that back. What we tried to do was not reinvent a band that had been successful with all those amazing songs, but was to keep it flying as an independent band, to go like, look, you know, it doesn't have to die, don't forget it, it's still here. And while all those other bands went on, the Metallicas and the Slayers and all that, you know, Venom was still Venom, even with me in it. Okay, slightly different, but it still existed. And then it helped the Reformation to come back for Dynamo, and then it kept it going, and here we are today. And even Kronos is still out doing his thing, so it's still alive. The beast is still alive, it hasn't died, and it won't die. As long as we're alive, it can't die, you know, and you know, that's the spirit that we want to give to young bands. Don't conform. You know, when we grew up, we go and see a million bands, and they were all very different. And then all of a sudden this genre thing became big, so bands want to emulate their favorite bands, Amonarath or Immortal, and like, I want to be like that. So you're in danger of forming your band as a 16, 17-year-old and trying to be Mayhem. But Mayhem were Mayhem. You'll never be Mayhem because they were. You'll never be Cawthorn because he was. But those bands didn't try and be somebody else, they were themselves. They were influenced by your Venom, of course, but they were themselves. So it's like, just go and be you. And whatever that is, and people will not like it because they've never heard it before, but you have to believe in it and keep that.
Don't copy anything, just be yourselves.
Why copy? You don't need to copy. How many Metallicas are there? But there's one Metallica, so don't be Metallica, be something else. That's all you need to be. And that was the message with Venom, which people kind of mixed up and thought, oh right, so we should be this. And it's like, no, the whole idea was don't be like somebody else, just be you. And if that's good or bad or not the best player or whatever it is, doesn't matter. You know, just do that, be individual, and that's what the result will be.
So any young band who is watching, this should be the words you could like really have to stick by. This is Mantes, Demolition Man from Venom Inc., the gods of rock and roll. Thank you very much, guys.